Hello and welcome to another Rambling review from Adventures in TV Land. Today we're going to talk about Transformers Rise of the Beast. Now, Transformers Rise of the Beast is actually, it's a sequel to the movie Bumblebee that came out a few years ago. Bumblebee was sort of a soft reboot at the time for the Transformers franchise, but now we have learned this is actually a hard reboot. It is set place in a different timeline. It's a different universe than what you saw previously in the Michael Bay, the Bayformers Transformer movies. So the movie opens on the home of the Maximals, robots who transform into animal creatures, and their planet is being attacked by Unicron. Unicron is trying to devour their planet. Not only that, there's a key that they have, and it's a transwarp key. Pretty much allows whoever holds it to be able to transport themselves across galaxies. Unicron really wants that because he is a devourer of planets. Sounds kind of like Galacticus from Marvel. A small group of the Maximals escape, and they make their way to Earth, and they're secretly, I guess, for thousands of years, they live here on Earth. Fast forward, the film does, until 1994. Noah Diaz, he is make a start of his career, and then he is turned down for a job, so he agrees to a buddy of his who is in some shady business of stealing cars. He agrees to do a job for him to make some money, and it kind of backfires because car he steals is not an ordinary car. Car ends up turning to be a transformer. It's Mirage, and Noah becomes engulfed in this galactic conflict that is about ready to happen, because it turns out the transwarp key, it is found by a graduate assistant that ends up sending a signal that people on Earth, for whatever reason, are unable to detect it. None of our radars or anything like that can detect it, and it alerts Unicron to their presence, and so he sends his minions. Thus begins this global journey to stop Unicron from coming to Earth and destroying Earth. There's a few kind of almost throwaway references to the Bumblebee movie, but if you did see that film, you will catch those. And that's kind of the synopsis. I will say this film, it is not as good as Bumblebee. Bumblebee was an excellent movie. It did Transformers, or basically it did them as right as they can be done now, especially after the Bayformer movies. Transformers Rise of the Beast, it is a better movie than many of the Transformers movies. Got a little bit more heart to it. However, it carries too much of the Bayformer, the Michael Bay stigma with it. I mean, the Transformers, they're not most of them are not the Transformers that you grew up with watching cartoons with. They're different. The Maximals, I think they did a good job with them, tying them in to this story now. And I would be curious after this film, I would be curious to see the new Transformers movies, the sequels of this, to see how they bring the story together. They tie things together. There is another tie-in to another Hasbro property later on at the end of the film here. It was a decent film. I enjoyed it. Like I said, it's not as good as Bumblebee, but it is better, especially in the last 3 Michael Bay Transformer movies. So this has been another Rambling review. Thank you for watching. Until next time, that's a wrap.